This is episode 61, Stress Management. Welcome to another episode of SLP's Wine and Cheese. I'm Deb.
And I'm Maria.
And here's our podcast.
For the podcast Realistic SLP.
I was going to say for the stressed out SLP.
I don't know why I said podcast right there. Whatever.
Well, it either works.
Well, I guess if you're listening to this, you're an SLP who likes podcasts.
Perhaps.
Right? Yes.
Or maybe you're just friends with an SLP and you're in the same car.
Right, and they've subjected you to this podcast.
Maybe. But you guys are going to like it. We're very fun.
Yes. And we are drinking right now. So who doesn't like to drink? I really like this wine. Good job, Deb.
Thank you.
You know, Deb, sometimes you just push through and you just come out on the other side.
Yeah, thank you.
So-
It has a whole story on the side.
Yeah,
I didn't notice.
It does. It's got
yeah.
a very intense story. So we are drinking Bandit. It's a dry rosé, California.
Comes in a box.
It comes in a box.
Like a carton.
Like a carton. Yeah, like a juice box.
Like a coconut water box.
Like a coconut water box. I like it.
But
And it's
taller.
yeah, definitely taller and alcoholic.
Yes.
And has a nice little gold sticker that says award winning.
Oh, sold me.
So I don't know what award specifically this
Bandit
has
Wine
won.
has received 50 plus gold
Medals.
since 2006.
Yeah. More wine, less waste. So this box is 1 1/3 bottles of wine. I don't really get it. So you
I guess,
get
like,
more.
No, I think like the materials it takes to create this box, you would have to like 3 bottles of wine would be. It's still going.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maria.
Well-
Maria was worried we weren't recording.
Yeah, but we are.
Yeah.
So this is a product of the USA, and it's bottled by Rebel Wine, which is in Lathrop, California. And according to wine enthusiasts, this wine is fruity, that it seems sweet. This effusive and medium-bodied wine tastes like strawberries and cotton candy. It's soft on the palate and light in terms of concentration. And I have to agree with that. It does have a nice fruity taste, but not overly fruity. And it doesn't have any fizz. And it's smooth.
I don't know about cotton candy, but I vote
Yeah.
drink it.
Definitely drink it.
Yeah.
Cheers. I also like the price of this wine.
Yeah, it was like $9. So
I just took a sip of that.
that's why I got it. And I also liked the box. I was thinking about the gram, just wanted to look good on Instagram.
Yeah. It
And,
also tastes good.
Yeah, we had it with some ricotta cheese on a cracker.
You don't want to say it, ricotta
Nope.
cheese?
Sure don't.
Okay. And you added some salt, which I liked.
Yes.
So definitely drink that. So how has work been going for you?
It's been going well. Everything, I'm like easing into everything much better. The only thing that I have not had a good time with is that, so a lot of my students get specialized busing because my school is like one of the few that is for special needs. So kids live all over Brooklyn.
Yes.
And these special buses have not always been on time or consistent. And like I've had 3 kids with transportation issues now like withdraw from school.
Oh,
Yeah.
that stinks.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, I mean, like, it's annoying, but then, you know what? Imagine when it starts snowing, and it's just going to be like, how much school is this kid going to miss because of this? So it's better off for them.
Yes.
But at the same time, a bummer.
Definitely a bummer. September is always like that when you work in a school. It's like still getting to know you, still the students adjusting, still the teachers adjusting, all things that are like kind of like temporary, I want to say. I feel like it's part of establishing the routines that haven't yet been established. So it's like those in-betweens that can sometimes feel stressful, right?
Yeah.
I would say.
Or you're like, oh, I don't have a kid right now. I'm going to catch up on paperwork, which is not stressful.
Right. Some people think it is, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it could be because I'm fee for service. So there's lots of people who would think like, oh, this kid's not here now. I can't bill for the session. But like from my perspective, I'm like, well, that was just fate. So
Right.
I'm going to take that as a break that I deserve. Or if I'm thinking like, I am getting married, so I want as much money as possible, I would just, take another kid.
Right. Yeah. Just
That's all.
do something else.
Yeah.
Keep
Grab
moving.
somebody else.
Keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Don't let anything hold you back.
Never.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite thing lately, well, not lately, a lot lately, but I've been trying to,
As of late.
as of late, I've been trying to meditate every day.
Oh.
So I was very inspired by myself, to be honest.
Okay.
Because we always just want to keep growing.
Right.
So I was like, why don't I do a little guided stuff on the podcast? So I know you're not thrilled for this, but
Oh, I'm thrilled.
You're
Can't
not-
you tell?
you're not thrilled, but we're gonna do it.
Okay.
We're gonna try this.
Is there going to be music?
Oh, should we?
Can't you play a little
I have the Calm app,
something
which
on your phone?
any educator got a free subscription if you saw it over the summer. I saw it.
Oh.
Yeah, so I definitely took advantage of that.
The free subscription?
The
That's
free
great.
subscription, the full version.
Oh.
And yeah, so I got the full version, which is
How'd you prove you were an educator?
I just emailed them through my educator email.
Oh, okay.
And then they mailed me this coupon code.
You also get discounts at J. Crew with that.
I didn't, but that's also going to reduce my stress,
Yeah,
So
there you
thank
go.
you for that.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to put on a little meditation music. How about this?
Mm-hmm.
It's called Deconstructing Performance Anxiety. And it's like nice little soothing
But
music.
are they going to start talking?
No, I think it's just
okay.
music. Oh,
No,
they
he's
are
gonna talk.
talking.
He's talking.
These people are talking.
Yeah, get them out. You're supposed to do
Okay,
the
I'm going to be
talking.
doing the talking. So I'm going to just
Can't
put
you just
music
do like Spotify
on.
yoga? Oh.
Okay, I got some music going.
Okay.
How about that? All right. So
Do I have to change my posture because I'm comfortable? But
you know what? No, you got. How about wherever you are right now doing this meditation? And a lot of meditations, they're like require you to sit, and if you're driving, you're like, how am I going to do that?
All right, I'm gonna put my mic close to this so you can speak into yours,
Okay. All right.
and I'm just gonna listen to you.
Okay, and try to do some of it.
I will.
Okay.
Stop talking to me. I have to put my mic down.
Okay. All right. All serious now. Okay. So wherever you are, sink your seat down, or if you're standing, really be aware of your feet. So if you're sitting, sink your tailbone down, or if you're standing, sink your feet down. So just start from the bottom up. So take notice of where your body is in space. Now you could take a breath in and out. And now take your shoulders, hug them up to your ears, and drop them. Do that one more time. In, drop, bring your shoulders up and down. And allow that weight to just kind of sink down into your body. So now allow yourself these couple of moments to just relax. So tell yourself, I give myself permission to relax. So now you can put your hand on your belly and take notice of your breath. And you're going to deep inhale. Allow your belly to expand and out. Take another breath in and out. And notice the muscles in your face, if you're scrunching them, to just allow them to relax in between your eyes, right where your eyebrows are. Allow your eyes to gently go back to their sockets. Again, breathe in, feel your belly expand, and out. One more in and out. And now slowly start to move around, bring awareness back, and reach your arms up, and tell yourself to have a great and effective day. That's it.
Have a great and effective day.
Yeah, I just added that last piece.
Oh.
Do you feel different?
Yes.
No, you're just saying yes because you think I
That's
want
the
you to say
and
yes.
if I said no, you would have told me I didn't try hard enough.
No, I would want to self-correct myself, and this was my
No.
first time doing this on air.
It was great.
So, was it? Do you
I
feel like...
think my eyes are dry. I need some water.
Look at that. And you didn't even notice that. And now you're noticing what your body needs.
Oh, okay.
Just by taking some time out to relax.
Yeah.
I feel like if you do that a little bit a day, even if it's just like at the stoplight or even if it's like as you're walking to work, just like try to be aware of where your body is in space and how your breathing is. I feel like it can make a difference in stress management.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what? People are going to try it and they're going to message us and let us know.
Yeah, let us know if you did the meditation that Maria guided.
Thank you.
And if you noticed anything different about yourself.
Thank you. I'm going to cheers to that.
And also let us know if you would like that to be an ongoing segment. Meditations with Maria.
Meditations with Maria. My secret weapon is the wine. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
good. We should do them later in the episode. We'll do it in the beginning and the end.
Okay.
We'll see how different
How
it is.
different it is. Right.
Mhm.
Well, I do feel like it is helpful. And, you know, we are in a career that we're the helping field.
Yes.
And that can take a toll. I don't want to always say, you know, always will. But I think it's important to be aware that, you know, we do have a lot of responsibilities. We have high caseloads, high stress demands. We're working with individuals that have a gamut of issues, not always communication. So, and a lot of times we absorb some of that quote unquote stress or trauma. So I have some resources here.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and this is a good website. It's called the National Child Traumatic Stress Network. And it sounds like really intense. I can add it in the show notes, but it's www.nctsn.org. So that's what it stands for. And they talked about self-care for educators.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah, are you ready?
I am ready.
So they're saying how trauma can take a toll on children, families, schools, and communities, and it could take a toll on school professionals. So any educator who works with traumatized children and adolescents is vulnerable to the effects of trauma and is sometimes referred to as compassion fatigue or secondary trauma stress. So you could feel like physically, mentally, or emotionally worn out or feeling overwhelmed by your students' trauma. And the best way to deal with this is early recognition, just like with anything else, really. Early detection. Yes. Can we get a cheers to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. This truth shall set you free. This wine is so light. I feel like we should be like outside in a vineyard.
Yeah, we can just stare at this picture of a lighthouse and pretend that we are.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to open the bottle and pour a little bit more.
All right, you do that. I'm going to go through things. So tips for educators. Number 1, beware of the signs. So you should just be aware that you may exhibit some of these following signs: increased irritability or impatience with students, difficulty planning classroom activities and lessons, decreased concentration, denying that traumatic events impact students or feeling numb or detached, intense feelings and thoughts that don't lessen over time about a student's trauma, and even if you have dreams about students' traumas.
Oh, have you ever had like SLP related dreams?
Yes, I have.
What were they?
One was like, because I had a student who kept like wetting himself, and like we couldn't figure out why, because he is able to like ask for the bathroom. And then in my dream, I like went into him and I was just like, went up to him and I was like, what's going on? And he was like, well, no one's paying attention to me, so it's just negative attention. So I was like, oh, and I went back and I like told the teacher about my dream. So yeah, I feel like you take it home with you, and even if you want to deny and be like, no, I don't, which like I kind of do that, but like it comes out in my dream.
Right.
So, like,
yeah. Everything is in your subconscious.
Yep.
I never had speech dreams, but I still have waitressing dreams.
Wow. That's intense.
I still have dreams that like my whole section sat and I'm still in my pajamas.
Maybe you're feeling prepared.
Yeah. That's how I feel like I had those stress dreams for a long time while I was a waitress. And sometimes they just come back like that. But it's always the same. It's always like I'm about like everything is happening and I'm behind schedule, and it's not.
I had a dream that like I have a client and they're like, waiting for me and I'm like still at home
On the other
and
side
I'm like,
of town.
oh no.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
But mine still comes out as waitressing. I think like the message behind all of these dreams is just like feeling unprepared. Like you said, or just ordinary stress. But yeah, mine only I don't put it in speech in my dreams. I still do
associate
waitressing,
with waitressing. Maybe just associate that with like work.
I call them wait mares.
Wait. I like it. Number 2, don't go it alone. I think they mean don't go at it alone.
Yeah.
So pretty much anyone who knows stories of trauma needs to guard against isolation. So talking with people in your school, asking for support. So,
Yeah,
having
I work
a
with
drinking
the
buddy.
SLP now. Oh yeah, drinking buddy.
That's good.
I work with one now and I never have before and I love it.
Yeah.
I work with 2 now. It's just the other one, she's part-time, so we don't see her until like Wednesday and Thursday. Which is great. It's great to have the 3 of us in the room, but it's fun. And we have dividers, so we don't always know if each other are in there. So I'm always like, Elizabeth, are you in
there?
here? Yeah. She screams my name.
It's good to have SLP roomies.
Yeah.
And if you do have SLP roomies, make sure you guys are vibing. I'll say that.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know. I've heard stories of people who don't, and then your work is even more stressed than on top of an already stressful job. So try to fix that. I don't know how. Maybe meditation.
Maybe. I want to get us a clock in the room that rings at every 25 and 55 of the hour, because we all have half-hour sessions, except I have 1 hour session, but I'll just ignore that bell.
Okay.
But this way we're all on the same transitions and we like, and it's great having a room with other SLPs because like you kind of like keep each other accountable, I bet. Like, yeah. Because it's like I see Elizabeth get up and go and I'm like, oh, I'm 5 minutes late now. I got to hurry up and go because I saw her go.
I'm always the late one too.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But if so, that's why I'm like, maybe we should get an alarm for 25 and 55. So then that's like just 5 minutes until it's over, wrap up, and we're all leaving.
I like the timed timer. They have an app too, and it's an actual like clock, and it has like a
right. But I just
button
want
and
it
shades. All right,
in the room.
Okay, it is. It is in the room. It's not like an imaginary clock out of the room.
But do you have to go to a website or something?
No.
What is it? It's like
an actual like clock, yeah, and then you could move a little red tab, and then it's shaded. So then, as time goes, the red shading goes away.
Yes.
So it's a nice visual timer.
Those are great for productivity too. When you're like, for 5 minutes we're gonna do this. For 5 minutes we're gonna do this, and then you have that light.
It's 5 minute increments. So a half hour would be half of it shaded. Mm-hmm. So I like those, and they have it on the app. So if you have an iPad and it like takes the whole face of the iPad. That's another helpful tip right there.
There
Look
we
at that.
go.
Time management.
Yeah.
Helps with stress. It's all relatable. It's all it all is clockwork.
It's all the universe.
Pun intended.
Oh, yeah, pun that is, okay, finally. I'll take that.
Pun intended. Number 3, recognize compassion fatigue as an occupational hazard. And I think this is a good one because like in the past, I was like, oh, my job is not stressful. I'm not overwhelmed. And then I like really sat, and I think I was on vacation in Greece somewhere, and I was like, I think my job can be stressful, but it's like in a different kind of, maybe more like an emotional stressful. Right. But it's still stressful. So the minute you like accept that and you're like honest with yourself, like I think that's like half the battle. And that's pretty much what this is saying.
Yeah.
Just know you're prone to it.
Right. It's definitely, it's not an unstressful job.
Right. Yeah. But I'm sure every job has their own stressors.
Yeah, that's what I say to Mike all the time, too. Right. It's like, I know comedy is stressful, but like every career is really.
Yeah. That's why they call it a job, right?
Yeah.
Or work.
I'd like to hear the job that has no stress.
What does Mike think of the SNL guy who got fired?
That's our friend.
That's your friend?
Yeah. I told you about this on Saturday.
I know. I've been following the story too, and I liked his Twitter comment. He was like, I was a Mad TV guy anyway. And I was like, I was a Mad TV person too.
Becky's his manager.
Oh, hey, Becky.
She told him not to write that, but it was funny.
Why? I think he had to stick it to them.
Right. Well, I mean, also, like, no slurs. No one should do slurs.
No
But yeah,
slurs.
Shane Gillis, he's super funny. He is irrefutably funny. His stand-up is great. He's a very nice guy. He's a character type guy. And, so some old things surfaced and then they got
yeah.
rid of him. So there's two sides of it. Some people think like, oh, maybe SNL hired him so that like they can make an example out of him, you know, or maybe, you know, even though SNL is such like a left liberal show, they wanted to hire Shane to appeal to conservatives. But then at the same time, like some people think even that's like hypocritical. So who knows? All I know is that we're going to go see Michael Che and Colin Jost tomorrow. We're not going to talk about Shane Gillis.
I just wanted to throw it out there because I was following that story too.
Yeah, I mean it's awful.
I'm sure
I hate
he's
that
stressed out right now. I'm sure he could use some wine and some meditation right now.
Mike was with him yesterday. He said
oh, really?
He's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Listen, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But SNL is tough. I mean, that's like big gig if you're a comedian, right? You know, that's like.
I don't want to express my opinions.
Okay.
On SNL.
All right, I don't know.
In case anyone wants to scratch up, like dig us up, and then there's me saying I don't like something or I like something. I don't want.
I'm not in the comedy world, so I'm just like, interesting story.
Right.
I read his Twitter comment. That's all I got to say, really. Okay. Seek help with your own traumas. Number 4. So any adult helping children with trauma who also has his or her own unresolved traumatic experiences is more at risk for compassion fatigue. That's pretty obvious. You know, you got your own stuff, then you're dealing with other people's stuff, and it's just too much stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Too much.
Get rid of it.
Yep. Number 5, if you see signs in yourself, talk to a professional, which I think is a good one. If you're experiencing signs of compassion fatigue for more than 2 to 3 weeks, seek counseling with a profession who is knowledgeable about trauma. And if you could look into this, if you have insurance, some like psychologists are covered by insurance plans. I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for like online counseling or like just texting.
You know, a lot of insurance doesn't cover counseling.
There's a copay.
Or it doesn't cover it at all.
Oh, okay.
Like newer ones, like my insurance does not cover anything unless you are inpatient. So unless I was going to like put myself in an inpatient, I couldn't like get therapy.
Right.
But an alternative for people is you can find social workers who do counseling, and that's cheaper. Usually, not much, but not $300 an hour.
Wow.
At least.
That's a lot of money.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And last but not least, attend to self-care. Guard against your work becoming the only activity that defines who you are. Keep perspective by spending time with children and adolescents who are not experiencing traumatic stress. Take care of yourself by eating well and exercising, engaging in fun activities, taking a break during your workday, allowing yourself to cry, and finding things to laugh about. Like SNL. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yes,
Deb's
laugh
like,
at
stop
SNL.
talking
No, that's
about
excellent.
that.
Yes.
No? Okay.
That's good.
So any questions about that? Any like last words about that list?
No, I think that's a lot of great information.
Yeah.
Stress is a crazy thing. I'm always surprised how much I don't but like not too much affects me, but when it does, it affects me hard.
Yes. You don't think because you bottle things up or shove it under a rug?
Because I don't. Like, I'm very, like, I let myself feel things.
Okay.
But I also feel like I don't personalize things that don't belong to me. So while I might feel, like, compassion or empathy for someone who's going through something rough, I don't personalize that because that doesn't belong to me. Like,
Right.
Shane Gillis got fired from SNL, but, like, I don't care that much because it's not me or my life.
Right.
So it's like, I just don't have that feeling.
Right.
And like, while I would care for a kid who's struggling, I would just know I'm only doing everything I can while I'm with them.
Yes.
And legally, that's all I can do.
That's true.
So it's like, I can't do anything else.
Right.
If I did anything else, it'd be creepy.
Right.
That'd be stressful.
That would be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
for
want
everybody.
Exactly.
That would not be helpful.
Yeah, you can't just be like following up with people all the time and like getting in their business. Just, increase their vocabulary.
It's a fine line.
Yeah.
And I think teaching self-advocacy is a big one for our kids, you know, like teaching them even just like, I'm always big with this. Like just teaching the word no is huge, you know, and stuff like that. Or like learning on your device to be even just like making a comment, you know, because we're not just trying to request all the time. No, I don't like that. Stuff like that.
I have not done any requesting with my AAC students at all.
Well, look at that.
Not at all.
It's good for you.
They can already request.
Good. Check.
Yeah.
All right. So I have a self-care rating scale. Do we want to get into that? I can make this short and sweet.
Let's hear it.
I know Deb has some interesting stuff that she has learned about too. So this is a self-care rating scale. So if you want to like jot this down or even just think about it in your head. So according to this person, Virginia Satir, there are 8 domains of the self that need care. Rate yourself on each domain. Number 1 needs work, all the way to 5, which is excellent. So anything less than a 3 needs attention. So, and then this can be a great way to assess yourself as a scale, or even as a student, even if you give this to like a student or parents, or if you're working with a counselor, this is a great way to lesson plan some ideas. So number 1 would be intellectual. So like things that you're doing to stimulate the brain and engage the mind, like reading, playing games, learning, debating. And I feel like this is a big thing that we get to do with our students.
I'd say I'm a 5 on that.
I gave myself a 5 on that too.
Yeah.
Interactional. And this is interesting because as humans, we have this need to socialize with responsive others, right? So like having special dinner, family visit, date night, social networking. So I think it just shows you how important it is to interact with others.
I think I'm constantly interacting with others.
Right.
I don't have enough alone time.
I agree. That's why I also gave myself a 5.
I might give myself a 4 just because I'm overdoing it. I'm over interactive.
You're over interactive.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I'm thinking of in terms of our students, right? How we're giving them tools to interact. And that is in a way helping them to care for themselves. That's what I'm talking about, self-advocacy.
Yeah.
You know? 3, emotional. Enhance and explore emotions. So like watching funny or a sad movie, going to a comedy club, it says. Enjoying art.
Yeah, I do.
So
5.
5
I might be a 4 on that because I do all that too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
Well,
laugh too much, cry too much.
5. Well, we need this to care for ourselves emotionally.
Yeah.
The other one, nutritional. So this is to improve your nutritional intake. Watch calories, reduce sugar, eat something new. This also, hey, all our feeding cases.
Yeah.
This is how you're helping them out.
Today I had pizza and crybabies, so I guess maybe I'm doing a 3 on nutrition.
I had a poke bowl. It was good.
I had it once, and then Mike was like worried that we were gonna get sick, and then I never had it again because he didn't think it tasted right or something. And it was fine, and we didn't get sick. But I've always had that in my head.
Well, I didn't get sick, so I feel like that's an irrational fear there. But all right, sensual. Oh, hey, Mike, what's up?
The Chromebook. Yeah, there it is.
Chromebook.
Maria wants to know how.
We're talking about self-care rating scale. How do you feel like you are with your self-care? How do you feel you are a 4? Well, there's all different categories. We're on sensual. Get in touch
Wait,
with
don't lock the dogs in here.
With your sexuality and senses.
Oh.
Light candles, play music, dress differently, and massages. All right. I'm going to move on to the next one. Spiritual. And I felt like this one went with our meditation. Feed your soul. And it doesn't have to even necessarily be a religious thing. Meditate, sing, dance, a nature walk. And that's all.
I do all that.
Me too. I gave myself a 5 too.
I brought Oliver to the city yesterday, and we walked so far, then it took like longer to get home because I had to take a slower train because that's how far we walked.
Did you enjoy the nature walk?
It was nice.
Good.
It's next to it's in the bathroom, Mike.
So Mike always is looking for an SD card. It's just like his thing. Like I want to make him, you know how they have like those chewy tubes for the kids to wear around their neck?
Necklace?
I want to make Mike an SD card necklace.
The problem is that like the SD cards always have to get used. So then they get left places or not returned. That's why. It couldn't stay on your neck.
Right.
You have to put it places. But yeah.
In his pocket maybe.
Oh my goodness. You don't even know. Yeah. Executive functioning. We're going to talk about it later.
Yes, we are. 2 more things. Physical, challenge and care for your body. So like exercise, dance, gardening, taking a class, rest or sleep.
Yeah.
So how good would you say your physical care is?
I'm probably, like between a 3 and a 4 right now, because I would say in comparison to like what I'm capable of, which is a 5, which I have been a 5.
Right.
Right now I'm probably like between a 3 and a 4.
But
I'm doing more of the rest than I used to, so maybe I'm a 4. I'll give myself a 4.
I just gave myself 5s for everything, but
Oh.
Last one, contextual, improve or change your environment. And research has shown that your environment does influence your mood. So cleaning, repairing, planting, and changing something. And I took this from the beginning of the year when I came back to my speech room. I was like, we are going through these closets. And I felt like so much better. And it's also good to know what you have in your closets.
Right.
At work. So
yeah,
fix that up. Spruce it up.
I'm always changing my surroundings. So
yes,
definitely
a
4 on that one.
You are. So that's a great way for you to rate yourself and notice where you lacked, where you were less than a 3, and how you can improve that. And the first step is just like awareness.
You got 5s on all that.
I did. I just gave myself 5. So I'm like, I am doing good here.
I think you need to go to slpawards.us and tell Eric Raj that we need an award for the most mindful SLP. Ooh. Or maybe the best self-care SLP. Right now, he's got awards like Most Awesomest Future SLP Award or Most Awesomest... Oh, wait, that's the same one. Or Binge Watched Every Season of The Office While Writing Reports SLP Award. Or SLP Paperwork During the Weekend Award. I think we need, the Mellowest SLP Award on this website. So... everyone, you should go to slpawards.us and brighten up somebody's day with an award, maybe Data Loving SLP Award, because people need to be lifted up and hard work needs to be recognized. And I'm sure you have an awesome AAC Skills Award, that a person that deserves that award that you work with. So
yeah, and a little goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find out this link where to order in our show notes
and use the code wine and cheese for free shipping.
Perfect.
All caps.
Great. Next, Deb wanted to tell us more about stress.
Well, what I wanted to talk about was...
I thought you wanted to talk about stress.
I did, but more specifically, I wanted to talk about recognizing stress in children. Because while I think one of my flaws is that I don't have a huge amount of sympathy for adults. I do have a lot for children.
Okay. You don't have to have sympathy. That's like
or
a wrong
empathy.
word.
I don't have much for adults. I'm like
compassion. That's a separate word.
I have all of the feelings for my patients and clients, like compassion, empathy, sympathy, everything. But ordinary people, not so much. I'm like, you're fine. Get over it. I don't know why. I'm just like that. But anywho, so let's talk about stress. Now, imagine if I said to you, instead of us doing this podcast right now, we're going to go run a marathon.
Right. I would not like that.
No, that would be a very daunting thing to do to you. You'd be like, I'm not prepared. My feet hurt. I'm exhausted. I don't even have a water bottle.
My feet do hurt. But I do have a Bandit wine.
Yeah, that's all you have. You're not ready.
Right.
So, that would stress you out. And stress, it affects the way a child thinks and acts, and many stressful events that an adult can manage can cause stress in a child. And research suggests that chronically stressed children do pay a heavier price than adults, and they're at risk of cognitive damage because their brain is not fully developed. But at the same time, it's good to expose kids to the right types of stress. This way, they are able to deal with the potentially harmful kinds in the future. So you can stress them out a little, but not a lot.
Because it's something that you're never going to really escape in life. So you do. I think it's important to give them the tools
to navigate. Yeah. But because there is no world without stress.
Exactly.
Yeah. So some physical manifestations of stress, because how do I know my kid's stressed? I don't know. I'm going to tell you.
Right.
Yawning is a sign of stress. tension in the hands or stretched out hands or squeezing hands.
Oh.
You should look at their hands.
Mm.
Rapid heartbeat, which maybe you can't see, but still there's that.
Maybe
that.
panting, like
Panting.
shortness of breath.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Arm or leg extension, grimacing, covering the face, change in emotions, or physical ailments such as headaches and stomach aches.
Yes, headaches, digestive issues.
Yeah.
Because there is that brain and gut connection, and there's like direct neurons that go straight from your brain into your gut, but there's also neurons that go straight from your gut to your brain.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Just
so you don't even know.
digestive issues. And that's important for your feeding kids too, I think.
Right.
You know, you're like stressing them out to eat more, and then you're like, you know, feeding is a very, you know, has to be like
We have to
soothing
have- it has to
environment. Like, you know, you
and
can't
voluntarily it has to happen. You
Yes.
can't, it's not reflexive. You have to accept food.
Right.
And then it's not just about getting it in, it has to get processed. And, you know, involuntary muscles have to progress that food down your digestive tract, which is going to all stop during fight or flight mode. So, yeah, we got to chill.
So many things.
The point is, my point overall,
Right.
I'm going to give you a spoiler alert, is we all need to chill.
We all need to chill.
Everyone needs to chill. So another thing that I've noticed a lot with my kids, and what I think is important other people to notice, is that chewing and sucking gives a lot of input to the sensory system. So tongue chewing, or chronic chewing of the tongue, most frequently the sides of the tongue, I just demonstrated, is a common oral problem, and it's known as recurrent body-focused behaviors. And this is often associated with OCD, ASD, sensory processing disorder, and it's a common calming mechanism. So if a child is trying to calm themselves, what does that tell you? They're probably stressed out. So you should look at yourself and re-examine if there's anything that you can do to help. And do you want to know how adults can help children who are stressed?
Meditate with them?
No.
Just on a meditation kick
Maybe.
right
I'm
now.
sure it is. I'm sure that's...
I feel like
You
there's
can-
research for that.
I'm sure there is. But you can provide instruction in short, explicit utterances and repeat and rephrase those instructions instead of getting angry that a child did not understand the first time. Just
Yeah.
off the bat, tell them 3 times. And
Yes.
then you eliminate that. You
Right.
eliminate that whole, you're not listening, you're not
Right.
following directions. Well, maybe this kid, you know, his hand is asleep, or maybe his foot's asleep, or maybe he's freaking out because he's got to write this sentence and he doesn't know how to spell the last word in it.
Right. And
You don't
doesn't really know how to self-advocate and ask for help.
Or
And
he's
I-
afraid to. He thinks he's going to get in trouble because
Yeah.
it's not time to raise your hand.
Right.
You know?
And I like how Shannon, where Beckus was telling us how she was teaching her kids. She was modeling self-advocacy during math. Like, I don't understand this problem.
Right.
And I feel like that's so important to model that and
Yeah.
show that, you know, even adults ask for help. Or
Yeah,
even
everyone-
adults make mistakes.
I don't know how to do math.
I don't know how to do math
Every time
either.
I'm in math, I'm like, listen, you got to teach me. I don't know about math.
I'm like confused. I'm like,
Yeah.
someone help me. I need a calculator at all times.
So more ways that adults can help stressed out children is to present with the disposition or demeanor you'd like that child to mirror. So I have witnessed sometimes people are like, you're not doing the right thing. You need to be doing this. Now that's going to invite that child to respond by saying, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and I don't have to listen to you. Something like
Yeah.
that. So like they're going to mirror your behavior. So
Right.
instead of being aroused, it's better to reduce your arousal and to try to speak in a neutral tone that is lacking any judgment or emotions. And this way they will hopefully, and over time, most likely, mirror your behavior. So I would be like, I've noticed that when the teacher is speaking, your eyes are over here at the window. Now, I know the window's interesting and maybe the teacher's saying a lot that's overwhelming, but I'm going to help you understand this and we
Yeah.
can do it together.
I
So
like that,
let's
Deb.
get it done quick so we can play a game.
Right.
You know, something like that. Like not everything has to be like, you're not doing it right.
Right.
You
And you
know?
know me with my visuals, like maybe this kid could use a token board.
Right.
Maybe he could use some frequent breaks. You know, maybe it could be the class monitor and throw things in the garbage or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
Just throwing ideas out there.
Yes. And then I like to avoid no statements, and I like to replace them with do statements. So instead of saying no playing with your pencil, I like to say pick up your pencil and write the word the, or whatever the first word is that they need to write. Like, so like, who is eating the grass? The horse is eating the grass. Okay, so if he's playing with his pencil, and I'd be like, I need you to write the word the. I'm not going to say stop playing with your pencil, write the word the. It's a waste of time and my breath.
Right.
And it's like, why? Just because I want to be an authority and say that? Why? What's the point? Why am I even saying that?
Right.
I should just tell them what to do so I can move on.
And it would be implied that they would have to stop playing with the pencil to complete that task.
Right. I think it's an ego thing that adults don't realize that they're doing to kids.
I don't know about ego, but I think a lot of times going back to my list, that maybe we're overwhelmed. We're humans too. And maybe we're just like having a hard time like balancing our own like stress and emotions. Now we have this kid that's like, like playing with the pencil. We just want one sentence on the paper. And it's like,
right. So then you
can't,
tell them, write
focus
the word
yourself.
The. That's it. I just need the word
this
the.
episode's about helping others, to help themselves. And that way you could help your students,
right. So this is how you can help them by using do statements instead of no statements. And also, instead of asking why questions, ask how questions.
Yeah, why questions are tough, man.
Yeah, why questions? Well, no, I don't mean like in terms of abstract
Why are you
thinking.
Playing with your pen?
That.
I get it.
Yeah, like how can I help you write with your pen?
Right.
Or like maybe that's a weird example, but like
I would like how do we write the word the? Look, long line down, and then just like, okay, I gotta write
yes.
Focus them.
Yeah, so like not why aren't you writing? It's just how do we get this sentence down?
Yeah.
Something like that. Visual reminders and support, such as cues and schedules, which I'll get into more. And then providing clear expectations, allow scheduled, intentional sensory breaks, not just like every time a kid flips out, they get to go. We have a whole other episode about that, so I'm not going to talk about that. And then provide coping strategies, such as tell me more. Yeah. So lots of times kids, I use the example, they might be like, well, I want 2 prizes. And instead of me being like, no, you're selfish. You can't have 2 prizes. Right. Everyone gets 1 prize. Right. Why would you think you get 2?
Right. No why questions.
Yeah. I would be like, tell me more about how you want 2 prizes.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, well, I like both and I wish I could have both. And I'm like, you know what? I love prizes. I wish I can have 2 prizes.
Yeah.
But right now, we only have so many that everyone can only have 1.
Right.
And you wouldn't want to be the one who has 0. So it does make sense to want 2, but right now I can only give you 1. And sometimes just like allowing that child to fantasize about getting what they want is just like the satisfaction that they need.
Just to get it out.
Just to get it out. Just to think about it.
Yeah.
Then also another thing for adults to remember is that no 2 people are the same. So you might have had a kid similar to another one, but that doesn't mean that whatever protocol you have with that kid is going to be aligned with what this next kid requires. So the biggest example, and I'm not the first to say this, whole body listening is not consistent and effective for all children for listening. Yeah. Many children with sensory needs require stimulation in order to focus, and you're not listening causes stress in a child who struggles to focus. And many choices children make to self-soothe are distracting. And these are not whole body listening things, but they're doing that because they need help soothing themselves.
Right. Yeah, if they're listening, and sometimes they don't always give eye contact, doesn't mean they're not listening. Because, sometimes they surprise you.
Right, yeah.
And then you're like, just because they weren't looking at me doesn't mean they weren't listening.
Yeah, maybe looking at you is too stressful.
And that's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what research is showing.
Maybe they hated your outfit. Maybe they couldn't get over that you couldn't brush your hair that day.
Maybe probably right.
I did have been that.
I'm trying to work on brushing my own hair.
Me too. If anyone's gonna be like, you could improve in hair, I'd be like, probably.
I'm
tired.
I'm tired too, girl.
So, just like so kids, I feel like lots of kids get in trouble in school, and they get stressed out even more because things that are outside of their control are what's getting them in trouble. So let's look at some behaviors that kids might have and try to think like this is not always their fault. Like they may have,
I was gonna say even adults, like if you're working with adults and like the geriatric population, I think it's probably so stressful for them that like they used to be able to drive, they used to be able to cook, they used to be able to go to the supermarket, and then when they lose that sense of control, they do feel stressed. So like you can apply this to adults too.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So these people, they might have trouble starting or completing tasks. They might have difficulty prioritizing tasks. They might forget what they've just heard or what they've just read. They may have trouble following directions or a sequence of steps. They might
executive functioning.
Yeah.
What is this like Jeopardy? What I'm just made in Jeopardy. What is executive functioning?
So
where is my SD card?
Exactly. That's right. So that's not Mike's fault.
Right.
He can't focus all the time. He's doing too many things. So they might panic when rules or routines change. They might have trouble switching focus from one task to another. They might get overly emotional and fixate on things. They might have trouble organizing their thoughts. They could have trouble keeping track of their belongings, and they might not be able to manage their time. They might want to have friends over, but then never organize it. Their desk is messy. Their backpack is messy. They focus on the least important part of the discussion, and they insist on things being done a certain way. So we can provide visual supports for these types of people so that you can reduce their cognitive load and their overwhelm. I like get ready, do, done, because
like a to-do list.
Yes, but you work backwards here. So what you do is first you fill out the done, and you're going to draw in the done what your finished product would look like. I feel like when I was a child, I struggled to initiate projects because I was always thinking, I'm going to do it wrong. So having a visual of a finished product alleviates that anxiety and lets people initiate tasks and actually complete them. So you start with the done, you draw what it'll look like. Maybe it's like an article that's got jots all over it, like that's been annotated. And then in the do, so what am I going to do? I'm going to read the article and I'm going to take notes on what I learned. So get ready. What do I need? I need my article, and I need a highlighter, and I need a bookmark, and I need a pencil. And now I'm ready to do it, and I can write on the clock how much time I have to get it done.
Wow, I like that.
Then there's also like some kids who they struggle with impulse control. So like I have one student who like tends to speak loudly or ask questions, and it's a little bit impulse control and it's a little bit avoidance behavior. And too much time has been wasted, in my opinion, on redirecting this child. So I put visuals on his desk that show like, you know, when the teacher's voice is on, his voice is off. And I have like the zippered lip emoji. But then there are times when we can speak in our desk, but we have to do it softer.
Right.
So I just have like the shh, quiet emoji. So we just have to speak quieter. Then I have like a boy raising his hands, and then I have an emoji of like writing. So like if he's talking, I'll just point to the writing. And then I'm like, I'm not going to answer your question until you finish this sentence. And then I have the volume, like the Apple volume, because everyone seems to know about volume on computers, for louder and quieter, and then arrows up and down.
I've made visuals of like a growing up a scale, and then like like almost like a bar graph, and then like too low, middle is just right, and then like too loud. And then I found one on Pinterest where it's like a mouse. Not a realistic picture of a mouse.
Right,
I'd freak out. A cartoon picture of a mouse.
Right.
And then like just right, and then like a lion's voice. So you're just trying to show them like the different loudness levels, which are very important.
Yeah, because like, and just giving that visual instead of like when you tell somebody something, like you have to understand that children, just like adults, they don't like to be told what to do all the time, and they do get embarrassed. So instead of being like, you're so loud, just pointing to something might help them just get more comfortable. And my last point is just really speak in a neutral voice and tone. This does not mean that you are saying this behavior that's negative is permissible. You're just providing the behavior that you want that child to mirror, and you're getting your point across. If you put your emotions in what you're saying, you're going to invite them to add more emotions, and you're going to increase their level of arousal. So the point is, a behavior was identified, a consequence is going to happen, and you need to speak about that in a matter-of-fact way instead of yelling or anything, because that's not going to help,
Right.
in my opinion.
It's really not.
No, but instead I will be like, it is not acceptable to touch other students in the classroom.
Right.
It's unsafe and it's inappropriate. Right now we have to finish our work in another room, and hopefully moving forward we don't have to do this again. That's it. I'm not going to be like, don't touch that.
Right.
Like,
Social stories are good too.
yes.
You could just
I wanted to put this in this PowerPoint, but I only had 15 minutes, so I was like speaking like a mile a minute when I did it for the people.
All right.
Yeah.
That was a plethora of information.
Thanks. I feel like you say that after every time I talk. Is
I?
that because I say too much?
No, I just really mean that it was a lot of information, but I meant it in a good way.
Thanks.
That was a lot of information, and I was just like, I feel like I need a minute,
to process it all.
to process it. So, like, to me, what would I say about that presentation you just gave? I'm gonna go with less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe that should be our quote. We're doing things a little backwards.
Why, you think I said too much?
No, I mean, like you're
like less more, like
less emotions,
less of your
less verbal cueing,
mm-hmm.
less questioning, less insistent chatter. I don't even know. I'm just saying less with everything. Just less.
Yeah, it's like
will
stopping
get you more.
a classroom to target behavior is just as distracting as that negative behavior.
Yes.
So no matter what, like for the most part, children or adults, they act out because they want to gain control over a situation. So if everything has stopped and no one is required to continue working, then they have now controlled the situation. Even if the teacher is the one in the front talking, the child is the one who dictated that situation. Everyone's now doing something different as a result of them. So that's not beneficial to the group as a whole. He's going to form his own dichotomy. He's going to be his own ruler of the room. So it's going to be like our whole atmosphere is dictated based on one or two children's behavior, and that's not beneficial for anyone.
Wow, that was good.
That's what I think.
And stress is a result of feeling like loss of control.
Right.
So
and you're just trying to regain it. That's why they're acting out.
Yes.
So that's why I always try to tell kids, I will help you with anything you need help with. If you can't spell it, I'll spell it slowly and 16 times until you do. And I'm so annoying to the point where they're like, I want to do it by myself.
Right.
And they do. I never met a kid that has learned helplessness wants Miss Brooks to do everything, because I'm also not an idiot. I'm not gonna do everything,
right?
But I can tell there's a kid who has all the answers verbally. You tell him to write, he breaks down. He finally does write because he's motivated. Everything's spelling, all the spelling is atrocious. So he's sitting there thinking the cognitive load of having to spell all these things because he completely lacks phonemic awareness is too stressful for him to participate. So it's not an IQ thing or a comprehension thing. It's a stress thing. He's too stressed out. If we gave him a code,
right?
If he only had to write the first and last sounds that he heard, maybe that's what my new goal is going to be. Just identifying the initial and final sounds in words I read aloud.
Is that going to be your tip or trick?
Maybe. That's my goal.
These are you got a ton of tricks today and tips.
Yeah.
You got everything.
My tip or trick, we're doing tips or tricks now?
Yeah.
Mine is provide instruction in short, explicit utterances and repeat it.
I think you're reading my mind because I was going to do that too. Go
okay.
ahead. Yeah, I like yours.
That's it. That's my favorite line. So if I'm going to say, right now we're going to drink wine, pick up your glass. We're drinking wine.
All
Where's
right.
the
Well,
wine? Let's drink the wine.
Guess what? I drank my whole glass.
We're drinking the wine.
I drank a droplet of wine because I drank the rest.
So it's take out your paper. We need our papers. Right now, we're doing the paper on this. Well, whatever it is. I say it 3 times.
Max.
So that they're minimum.
Oh,
minimum 3 times. So that there is no, you haven't heard, you're not listening. So instead of just saying, everyone take out your folders and take your packet out, and then pausing for 5 minutes while they're shuffling through their papers, I'm just still talking.
Wow.
I'm
all right.
Folders out, packets out, turn to the first page. We need Dreams by Langston Hughes. Do you have Dreams by Langston Hughes? Get your packet out. Dreams by Langston Hughes. Just over and over again. Because, the time is there. It's still, they're still transitioning. you can just keep giving the instructions so that no one gets yelled at for not knowing what it was.
I see. So you're doing it like
I'm
they
setting
can't
them up for
mess it up.
success.
Yeah, they can't mess it up. I get it.
Can't mess it up.
All
'Cause
right.
I am relentless,
Got
but
it.
neutral.
Wow. Interesting combo you got there.
Yeah.
Whoa. All right.
You think?
My tip or trick
Mm-hmm.
to reducing stress
Yes.
for your students or clients, even if they are geriatric,
Mm-hmm.
I like for you guys to write a checklist of things you want them to accomplish in the session, and then they can cross them off as they go.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of individuals who feel overwhelmed and the lack of control, or at least if they feel like they can control what's happening in the session, will feel a sense of like relief and also like prediction. Like, okay, first we're going to read the book, then we're going to highlight the words, then we're going to write the words, and then we get free time. So as they do it, they can check it off. So
Right. Everyone loves crossing off things.
everyone loves crossing things off. And, you know, just even if you don't have those visuals of that, write the words down, draw a little picture, just make that schedule and allow the client to feel that control of, oh, I checked it off because I did it. So, you know.
Yes, exactly. Because
Yeah.
then they can feel in control. Maybe they're acting out because they seek independence. And now
Right.
Maria's tip has provided them that fulfillment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I
And
liked
then-
my quote, less is more. But
Less
if you
is
don't
more.
like
My
it,
mom
but-
says it all the time.
Oh, see? Mama
Mhm.
knows best.
Yeah.
Less is more. So, with that note, I'm Maria,
I'm Deb.
and this was our podcast
For the
stress management.
not stressed out SLP.
We're not stressed
We
out.
fixed it all, right, guys? You're
we
good.
got it.
Just
You're good.
meditate, be neutral,
Be aware that you are prone to stress. Exercise.
eat healthy, go to bed.
Sleep. And don't stress your students out as a result.
Don't do that.
It's just going to stress you out even more. It's just a
Yeah.
vicious cycle of stress.
Get rid of it. I hate stress.
Yeah.
I refuse to feel it.
All right. Well, make sure you're not swallowing things and burying them.
I'm not.
Okay.
I
You're
don't
just
think
letting
so.
them go.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm like, let it go.
Good.
I don't wear things.
Okay.
Take them away.
Take them away. I like
Take it
it.
away.
All right. Good night.